What is up, ladies, gentlemen, NBs? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to Shared Screens Media Club, the one show here on Shared Screens where we talk all things games, movies, and TV shows. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was close to saying books this time. I was thinking about it. But fuck books. We're back with the big one of the big ones I love doing annually. It's our E3, but not E3 predictions, if that makes any sense.
Summer Game Fest predictions.
It's Summer Games Fest. I feel like we need some kind of better branding for this, just something that
is just Summer Game Fest.
I'm gonna be honest.
Jeff won.
I think the biggest loss of E3 is just the name. Like, everybody knew what it was. Like, we're in this weird transitional period where I kind of just wish that, like, it was, E3 was bought out and is completely different.
I do like Summer of Games. I think this just sticking to Summer of Games because it always happens around that time of year anyway. I think we just lean into that. It is tough though because like Game of the Year is something I really enjoy making, but this is right up there. Like I don't know which one I like more, but they're both really hype.
Same
and I
here.
enjoy them.
Yeah, same here. I say we go E3 2. We just start calling it E3 2.
I like it.
E3 also.
And of course, to join us on this prediction quest, we got Alec, Jordan, and Austin.
Hello,
how y'all doing today? Here to predict and just get hype and just get lost in tea leaves. We're going to manifest stuff here today, guys.
Yes.
I believe it. And to start us off, I'm just going to go first. I'm going to go first with the predictions. I'm a host. I'm a host. I'm doing it myself. I'm going to set the bar.
Sure.
Oh, okay. PlayStation. Konami. Blue Point. Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. But not only that, PlayStation's been out the game a long time. Konami's been out the game of making good games for 10 years. I think these guys got to make a comeback in the biggest possible way. And I think these guys are going to make good on all three major Metal Gear Solid rumors. So not only do we have Metal Gear Solid 1 remake from Blue Point, this is my Gatorade get hype moment. We got Metal Gear Solid 3 remake coming 2024. I forgot to add Metal Gear Solid 1 remake this holiday season.
What?
Metal Gear Solid 3 next year. And then the third and final rumor that's been floating around, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, PS4, PS5, Shadow Drop, day of the showcase.
Oh,
is that too wild? Is that too outlandish?
Yes.
Like God, yes. I just feel like with the way things ended with Konami, Kojima, Metal Gear, y'all gotta make a comeback and y'all gotta do it.
Josh, I have one question for you.
Yes.
Did you host this entire podcast so you could go first and you could say that? So no one else would steal it? Is that why you're hosting?
No. I was really interested in this, but like when I was throwing that idea out there, I was like, I gotta cook this Metal Gear, this Metal Gear prediction because everyone's gonna go the safe route of 3. I want to go out there.
I won't do this as one of my official predictions, but this is one kind of off of that. This is actually a Summer Games Fest kickoff prediction I had. We don't see Kojima, Death Stranding, or the rumored Metal Gear Solid remake at the PlayStation showcase. Instead, we see Kojima at Jeff Keighley's event, and there is another cryptic trailer for Death Stranding 2. We then hear the iconic sound of the codec, and Jeff and Kojima have like a fun little conversation on there before introducing Blue Point's next remake, Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, I'm glad you also went Blue Point with that Metal Gear remake on that one. I'm glad we're all riding with it.
Does that mean that Blue Point's been working on the Metal Gear Solid remake even when they were developing Demon Souls? Like, is that your assumption? If it's ready already?
My assumption is that
they finished. I just said it was getting announced.
That's true.
Mine is that they finished Demon Souls, went to work Metal Gear because like
they already kind of had the contract, like kind of
done,
and then
because like Konami doesn't wake up one day and is like, hey, we're done with pachinko machines and we want to get back into games. Like it doesn't happen overnight. I feel like this thing's been cooking for a long time, and then of course 2021 we saw the acquisition of Bluepoint, and I think in traditional PlayStation fashion, they're going to ramp those teams up, right? So like similar to how like Insomniac has the Ratchet and Clank team, the Spider-Man team, the Wolverine team, Naughty Dog got different teams. Sony Santa Monica is now getting different teams. I think Bluepoint is now going to get a new IP team and as well as a remake team.
A new IP team. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool to think about.
Right, because that's another one of the like rumors in the tea leaves.
I'd also be salty. They're like, I want to be on the new IP team. I want to
right
on the same thing all the time.
I don't know if you're good at remaking like stuff and just
they have a proven
nostalgia
track
back.
record if it's with Bluepoint or like Esk.
Yeah, I feel like that's your passion. That's your love.
I get
it. Yeah. Alec. Oh, sorry, Jordan. Go for it.
The thing that I think that you're getting right with is I'm not a big Konami guy at all, but seeing how they're doing multiple Silent Hill things at once to like revamp the brand, I wouldn't be surprised to see them do the same type of what's it called? Marketing scheme or plan of just being like, hey, let's throw a lot at once.
See, my only not like gripe with that idea is that if they're already doing all the Silent Hill stuff, like who's working on the Metal Gear stuff? And I know Konami pretty much just publishes things. I understand that, but I'm just saying, like,
that's the thing is if this is made by Bluepoint, it would just be Konami gave them the license to use their characters.
That's my caveat. The only way that what you said is true, where like they did all the Silent Hill stuff and they're gonna kind of follow suit with the Metal Gear stuff, is if they're really hands off and they're just like, boop, here's I'll sign this and you do
like the Marvel Games approach.
I literally think that's the case where PlayStation's like, hey, you guys have fumbled the bag with this IP since fucking Metal Gear Survive. Sorry, trigger warning, Metal Gear Survive for my Metal Gear fans out there. But like, I feel like it's like people at PlayStation being like, we're gonna cook for you, all right? You know, you get to just sit back, reap the rewards.
They do a Star Wars deal where they sign for the license for like 10 years, but they actually do something with it.
Or 100%. 100%. Sorry. Alec, I'm going to kick it to you.
All right.
First hype prediction.
We're staying with the PlayStation showcase. Ghost of Tsushima 2 is teased with a super short cinematic, and the year 2025 is shown. Then it fades. Someone from Sucker Punch comes up and says, we're happy to announce Ghost 2 is coming in a couple years. But while you wait for that, we've got a little something else for you.
Sly Cooper. Just kidding.
It's black. And you see a streak of blue lightning come up. Infamous Remake is shown with a gameplay trailer coming first half of 2024.
Wow.
Happy you said this.
I love it. My hot take is that I'm almost Kylo Ren on Infamous. Let the past die. Kill it if we have to.
Really? Coming from the dude with all the Metal Gear praise right now.
Okay, yes. But Konami hasn't done anything since Infamous. Sucker Punch has gone on to make one of the best games of all time with
for sure.
Ghost. And hot take again, Ghost of Tsushima better than God of War 2018. I fucking adore. Like it is one of the upper echelon.
Better, but I did vote it for my Game of the year it came out. So I don't know. I know they're different years, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, and so like I would
that's
pop off a lot more for Ghost 2 than anything.
Right, but that's why for me, I kind of did like I'm in my mind, I'm thinking the Infamous Remake is like kind of a smaller team at Sucker Punch.
Right.
It's kind of working on that. Whereas
like a passion project type thing, like they don't want to forget their roots.
Can I build off that?
Yeah.
If you think Sucker Punch is developing this, do you know how big Sucker Punch, the developer, is? Like how many people they have? Because it's not very big.
No idea.
I don't think it's that big. So I find that like rough to think. But if they've been cooking on it for a while slowly, I can see
That's
it.
what I'm thinking. There's a super small team.
Yeah.
Just
I can see it.
I think
the main brunt is Ghost 2. Like
Ghost is that game that I think would give them the opportunity. Like PlayStation would be like, hey, hire more people, like work on something else, like while making Ghost 2. Like I would, if I was PlayStation, I'd slide them the check, be like, here, go, like either
Ghost
pitch me new IP or like, make sure you're giving me Ghost, but also here's like a blank check, pitch me either a new IP or bring back something else. I like that. I do think a Infamous remake would also would be that like test of the water thing. You know how like Metro came out with their remasters and then they're like 5 years later they're like, hey, you guys really fucking bought up those remasters. Here's a brand new Metro game. I think Infamous could do that for the Infamous.
I had as one of my backups, just Infamous is back in some way, parentheses, remaster, remake, or reboot. Because I think that there's a lot of different approaches they can go with it.
I think remaster is the most likely, and that's not the one I want the most, but I think remaster makes the most sense, especially with everything in context that Alec brought up, and when I said that team might be small, that is already working on Ghost 2 or whatever it is.
And then they could almost just do like a 1 and 2 like combo pack with that at that point.
Oh yeah.
But my not caveat, but my thing to that is I would rather it be a remake. Duh, because like that everyone would rather have it be a remake.
But when you say remake,
with the size of the team, it's just like
like Austin, when you say remake, Alec, you called it Infamous Remastered or Infamous Remake?
Remake.
Okay, so both of you, just because Austin, you mentioned remake, and Alec, because it's your prediction. Do you mean 1-for-1 remake like Blue Point's Shadow of the Colossus, or do you mean here's quality of life improvements, here's a morality system that isn't as black and white now that we're on the PS5?
In my mind, it's almost a middle ground of that, where it's like they remake it from the ground up, but it's almost a 1-to-1, if that makes sense. So they improve on quality of life stuff, but not necessarily, they don't necessarily change anything about the game itself, if that makes sense. They make it run better, and the glaring issues that people have expressed are changed, but like like the thing where you said they enhanced the karma system, I don't think that would happen. Maybe if there's like glaring holes in it or something like that.
Like for me, in my mind, I'm like kind of on that level of like Resident Evil 2 remake. Like they do some things to improve gameplay and like quality of life stuff, but they keep the base game relatively the same.
I thought Resident Evil 2 was super expansive in terms of what it changed.
It is to a decent amount. Like there's like different, like the story beats are changed quite a bit and stuff like that. Same with like RE4 remake. Like there's a whole lot in there that's changed and new and
never mind.
Well, I played like 2-3 hours and then turned it off when Mixer X came because I couldn't handle that.
I get it. I understand.
Dude, drop $3.99 on the Infinite Launcher Pack. You'll have a blast. But my question is, how disappointed would you guys be if it was Infamous PSVR 2? Like it was like you guys just got to shoot your little lightning bolts out.
You know what? I mean, I would be disappointed, but I'd be like, "That's cool."
That's cool.
Cool, yeah, but
it would depend on what the game is. If it's a very on the rails thing and you're not really doing combat, like closer to Batman Arkham VR, I'd be like, "This is what we're doing with the IP." But if it was like, and I haven't played this game, but I've heard good things about it. If it was kind of like a Walking Dead Saints and Sinners thing, where kind of survival, see how many waves you can last, and maybe there's story beats there. But like translate it to Infamous, where like you're genuinely having fun with the different type of attacks you can do, I would be like, I'm all for it.
Just grab people's heads and
like let me be in my living room like a kid copying like shows on TV, just fucking throwing my hands all around.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
I'd be a little disappointed just because PSVR is still so dang expensive at this point.
Like,
100%.
Like that'd just be my point of disappointment because I would know I wouldn't be able to play it.
That would definitely be another wait for a review. Like if Greg Miller is like, y'all, this VR game slaps. This is the one. I'd be like, all right, I guess I'm getting a VR headset. But it would take a lot.
Like Infamous remake. I'm all for it. Jordan,
also little Ghost 2 in there too.
And Ghost 2.
And Ghost 2 still in there.
The sucker punch 1-2 punch. You know
exactly.
I'm all for it. Jordan.
Some would say the sucker punch.
That's what I said.
Shush.
Jordan, give it to me, man.
All right. My prediction for this year's summer celebration of games, whatever you want to call it, is that Capcom will announce Force a Habit. No, I think
he rehearsed that. This motherfucker rehearsed that.
I was going to go way longer with the title. I'm not going to lie. But no, I think that at the PlayStation Showcase this week that I'm unfortunately missing due to being on a vacation, we get a good 5 to 6 minute deep dive of when I say deep dive, I'm talking just of the systems. Gameplay could be shown in a separate trailer of the Last of Us multiplayer game, and release date is somewhere in the October to December of this year. My logic behind that is if Spider-Man is truly a September release date again, they go, hey, Spider-Man's our last big game, phase 1. It is amazing. It's fucking Spider-Man 2. you could end the year off with here's a live service game in the Last of Us universe, where like it's big, but they're not holding the rest of the year on it.
I think that's perfect, especially with the way Halo Infinite dropped a couple years back, like how that multiplayer came out like November 15th-ish, like halfway through the month. I think that's a perfect time window. It's just, unlike Halo Infinite, you got to just actually be alive at the beginning of next year. Right? And I think if there's anyone to do it, it would be Naughty Dog.
I actually have a lot of hope in the Last of Us multiplayer game, because not only did they go, oh, we're spinning this mode off into a whole new game because we have so many ideas, so part of it's been cooking since pre Last of Us 2 even came out, so more than 3 years, let alone the 3 years they've had. And looking at some of the hirings that Naughty Dog's had, where I remember a news story a couple years ago where they like hired an economist to make their in-universe economy. Like I think they're putting a lot of actual meaning behind what they're doing. And I think that it's not just, the in-world economy is really intricate. It's also going to be, how are we still making money, but we're not also ripping off players per se.
100%. I absolutely adore that first Last of Us multiplayer, and I've been like, it's really good.
Like by today's standards, or
I'd say even by today's standards. And like the thing is it's still kicking. You can still get in there and find like lobbies. Like people love that multiplayer.
Cool.
Like the fact that it is already story driven, and you go on a 12-week journey, and each match is a day in that like 12-week journey, and then you have to bring back like resources to your group. It's already like fantastic. Take that to the scale they're about to take it to, absolutely. Give me that 5-minute deep dive 100%. And then do you think it comes back at a state of play later this year for like even further of a deep dive,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a Last of Us specific or Last of Us multiplayer game specific state of play, just because I think with these live service games, the thing that we're seeing as a lot of them fail and a lot of them struggle while other just really proceed to just do amazing is communication is key. And I think if they go, hey, here's a 20-minute state of play where we are going to describe how the battle systems work, what the actual moment-to-moment gameplay is like, what is there to do besides shoot the people in the other colors team or in the other team's colors, like really explain what you're getting out of this game, and also set the expectations of, hey, we have a map for the first year of content here, and maybe they're saying we don't really have much after that. After that, it'll be bigger expansions, but less often. Or after that, it'll just expect smaller weekly. This is something we're only looking for. I don't see them going the Outriders path with it, but I could see them doing something similar where they're like, at the very least, we have a year's worth of content.
Another question. Is it crossplay? Do you think this comes day and day on PC? Or do you think they stick to PS5 only?
No way.
I don't think they do for this one, because it's the first of the live service games and it's carrying The Last of Us weight. However, if it was, I wouldn't blink twice, because they've said that live service games are the one thing that they will consider breaking that rule about.
Right. And now, I guess this is my... Go for it, Alec.
I was gonna say, live service games, like we all know, they live and die by player count. So if you are able to get the PC players in there to help, bolster that community, that's just gonna be even better for them.
Yeah. I hope we get something from there too. Another hope of mine. Just give us a little 30-second Last of Us director's cut in whatever Last of Us multiplayer snippet you're giving us. Just say Part 2 is getting a director's cut on PS5, please, for the love of God.
I wouldn't need it, but I'd buy it.
I'm ready to be hurt again.
It'll be
put back together.
I want to be hurt in 60 FPS.
It'll be a pre-order bonus for the or kind of like similar to what they did with Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered. It's going to be like Last of Us multiplayer, and then you get the director's cut if you get the Ultimate Edition or whatever.
I would pre-order my first game in like 8 years if that was the case, dude. Oh, I love it. Last of Us multiplayer. Let's fucking go. Austin, Hit me with your number one, dude.
Okay. Do I get the snake? Is that how this works? So I get to go 2 in a row?
Yes.
Cool.
So
So I have like 15 predictions.
Right?
Only
I said
like
3.
only like 5 of them. Like a lot of them are like slam dunks. I think like this is likely,
Right.
and then I add a little spice to them. But the one I have a few in there that are spicy. I'm gonna try to stick to those. So these are for you. I don't think these will actually happen, but if they do, woo-wee,
we're manifesting it. We're manifesting
all right,
it here.
All right. Here's one. Crash Team Rumble is shown for a last big blowout, but another new Crash game is announced because they know this Crash game is not going to be for everyone. They know this is a completely different type of Crash game, so they're going to announce Crash 5, and it is going to be the typical platformer. It's going to be just like It's About Time, but essentially like really encapsulating.
It's about space.
Like next gen. Like Crash 4 seemed like a up-res version essentially of like old-fashioned Crash. Now they're going to lean into like the next, like they're going to give the Ratchet and Clank treatment for whatever Crash is, but I don't know what that is. But they're going to announce Crash 5, and it won't have a date or anything, but it'll just say like coming in the future, not soon, but like on the horizon, because they know that Crash Team Rumble is a little different. But so because they know that, they're gonna also announce another Crash game.
My big question for you now.
Who's
where with no, not that. With Daddy PlayStation and Mommy Xbox fighting over Activision and their kid stuck in the middle, and Activision owning Crash, where do we see this?
I don't know.
Is this at Jeff Keighley's
I have no idea. I mean, genuinely
Activision
have no idea.
Activision is a partner of Summer Game Fest, so we could see it there.
Yeah. And maybe it's one of those things where PlayStation gets the Crash Team Rumble show, and then they're like, stay tuned to SGF for a little extra, something more. And then they show the Crash 5 footage.
Well, because when I was making predictions this morning, I was looking at that partnered list just to see if I could get any ideas spurring. So,
right. The thing is, though, with Summer Games Fest, it does get into that thing of like, are they partners, or is Summer Games Fest kind of slapping their logo on someone else's?
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's still there. It would still technically be under the.
But it doesn't always mean the Summer Games Fest
kickoff,
opening night kickoff. Right, yeah, a lot of the times it is just like, oh, Activision is doing their own thing, and
yeah. But I mean, when is the last time Activision had their own showcase?
No, that's true. Yeah.
And it, especially with Crash, because wasn't this announced at the Game Awards? I want to say.
Yes, sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yes, and I remember hearing that.
Right.
And I was extremely excited, and then they showed what it was, and I was extremely bummed out.
The lights turned off.
Crash came down from the ceiling.
Yeah,
she fucking crashed hard.
Literally, yeah.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah, I'm down for it. Do you think this game comes out next year then?
Crash Team Rumble?
Or Crash 5? Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
This year?
No.
If it's cooked, okay.
I think it's going to be a minute. I think it's going to be a minute because I think they want to do the next gen treatment. They want to give it that Rift Apart treatment, so they're going to spend some time and let it cook for a while.
Because Crash 4 was 2020 or 2021?
Crash 4 was 2020, I think, but it was also a completely different studio because they no longer have Toys for Bob.
Right.
So I think they're really in like the pre-production phase of that kind of a thing.
Right. Because those still sold. Like the trilogy sold well enough to get to justify a fourth game. Yeah. And so I could see Activision wanting to keep that around a bit longer. All right. Hit me with your number 2.
I'm debating between a lot. I'm gonna go. We are getting a new 2D Mario, baby, and it's gonna come out early next year. I'm gonna say Q1 next year.
Damn.
And Odyssey 2 is mentioned, but we do not see anything about it beyond that. Those are 2 separate games.
You go 2D Mario over Odyssey 2?
I think we get a new 2D Mario way before we get an Odyssey 2.
Damn.
If that makes sense. I think they kind of mentioned like, hey, the team who made Odyssey is working on something else and it's Mario and blah blah blah, and that kind of puts the rumors of the Donkey Kong thing to rest.
Right.
And we know that there's essentially I'm not saying it's called Odyssey 2. I'm just saying whatever the second installment of that
to it.
Yes, whatever the follow-up is, they talk about it and very 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 briefly just to kind of like shut people up. And then they show the 2D Mario, but not a lot of that either. But we get a date Maybe it just says early next year type of a thing. Maybe not a hard date, but like we get a good window.
Is it a different art style from like the new Super Mario Bros. Like that we got on the Wii and DS?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna say yes because I'm literally my only thought process is how much they dramatically changed. Dramatically is kind of arguable, but Zelda series where they went to that cell shaded stuff. I'm not saying it's gonna be cell shaded like that, but it's gonna be something to that twist, that kind of change up.
Nice. Is
that clear enough?
Desperately. Yeah. Basically, all I was looking for was will still be the same art style. That they've been in since the Wii and DS.
I think it will change. I just don't know what that change is. But if you would have asked me what Zelda would change into, I wouldn't have said what we got either. So I have no idea.
True, yeah. But like, it's just like since that's like early 2000s, we've literally had the same Mario design and art style.
As the not Nintendo guy here, now that like Tears of the Kingdom is out, it's great. Everyone's ranting and raving about it. I feel and it's been 6 years since Odyssey. I feel like now's the time. Like Odyssey 2, it is coming out either this year or like how great would it be if they're like, it's March 10th, it's Mario Day next year, guys. Like,
I think that's likely.
Dude.
I think that's likely.
Like go off the hype of the movie.
Right?
Yeah,
it just
100%.
came to home video.
See, the hype of the movie thing is almost more reason for me to think they're gonna have 2 games. Like why not? Like you're just gonna.
What if it's a tie-in game to the movie? The Super
Mario
I'll be honest, movie game.
I'm not going to say surprised because it's Nintendo and I could see this not being their thing, and also they will never do what you expect them to do anyway. But part of me was surprised that there wasn't like something, maybe even like a patches in Mario Kart to like tie it into the movies.
Oh shit! Like, I didn't even think of a Mario Kart 9. Didn't even think about that.
I don't think there's.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo's thinking about it.
They still have like 2 booster packs to give out by the end of the year. Like Mario Kart 8 still has, I think, 16 more tracks to get.
Maybe they just announced that Mario Kart 9 will be like a $5 upgrade, and then you just get it.
Yeah. No, but I was gonna say, I really hope we don't have to spend the next 3 years when we're talking about Nintendo. Now that we're no longer have to say untitled sequel to Breath of the Wild, I really hope we don't have to spend time going the untitled sequel to Mario Odyssey.
We will, right? We will. Guaranteed. That's my lock.
Yeah.
Damn. For 3 whole years to round out the Switch. God damn. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Jordan,
I think it's likely.
You guys want to make it crazy?
We'll believe. Dude,
do it.
All right.
Let's get fucking crazy.
This has been the year of what? Year of the fighting game, right? We got Street Fighter 2 right around the corner.
Weird.
Mortal Kombat 1, but also kind of 12. Just announced for this September. But there's a third fighting game we've heard very little about. It's not the one you're thinking about. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
Nice.
Deep dive, official reveal, more than just announcement. And this has been the year of something else, guys. It's been the year of the Shadow Drop.
No.
Oh.
Out.
No.
There's nothing about how far along into the development that game is. Whether that announcement was like, oh yeah, no, we're just getting started, or that announcement was like, hey, we're really, really close. I could see this being a game that they don't give a lot of time to. That like, I think we got announcement, I will say official reveal, between official reveal and release will be much shorter. Will be a generally shorter time period. Yeah.
You think this thing's coming out like this summer?
Yeah.
Why not?
Fuck it.
It's Bandai. Why not, dude?
That's the thing. Bandai Namco sometimes has their own. Bandai Namco sometimes does their own show, or like can do stuff during the Tokyo Game Show that like isn't necessarily connected to like the earlier stuff. And there's not really a huge game in July, August that I can think of. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 is at the end of June, so like you think that's going to take up most of people's Julys, but like. I think it's a good time.
June or July?
Isn't Disney Illusion Island coming out in July?
Pikmin and Disney Illusion Island. Yeah, okay, fine. People won't be playing Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
I think that trailer that they showed would be drastically different if that were the case. Not that they would be tipping off that it would be Shadow Drop, but I just think the trailer wouldn't.
But that was attached to Evo, right? And so I took it more as like a tease.
Right.
Okay. I mean,
you know,
your argument went a little up for me, but not much, not a lot.
The thing is, they didn't say anything. They didn't give a year. They didn't say in early development. They didn't say coming soon. They just said it's happening.
Well, I mean, I can just take your logic. It was part of Evo. Why would they say anything more than that?
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie. Really thought you were gonna hit me with like an Injustice 3 or that like one rumored like Marvel versus DC fighting game or like a Marvel versus Capcom 4. Wasn't expecting Dragon Ball, Kansai, Tekken 2, whatever the fuck.
What?
But I don't know what he said.
Dragon Ball Concierge.
Right. But you know what? There's the Dragon Ball fans. Y'all eating in Fortnite, and so y'all gotta be eating in your fighting games too.
It's just 65% a dude screaming, and then his hair turns.
I don't even watch it. I just like the games a lot. Like I have never sat down and watched a full episode of Dragon Ball Z, but I will play the fuck out of Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, Alec, hit me with your second prediction, man.
Ooh.
Look at the list. What do you want to cook with?
All right. I mean, I don't have much craziness to this one, but I mean, it's crazy, but I don't have like all the caveats that I had with my first couple.
Lay it on me.
Yeah, it's our first prediction for the Xbox Game Showcase, and we finally get to see the rumored Halo Infinite Battle Royale.
Oh wow! You think they show that?
Slated for late 2023.
Doesn't hit that date.
I think if they show anything, it's Shadow Drops. Like it has to. Like, but that's the only way they get any kind of like fanfare, really.
I'm kind of with you there. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I get that.
That's tough.
They like when they came out with that final multiplayer update, and they were like, "Hey, and you can play it now," and everyone rushed home to their Xboxes to turn them on, to install it. We all remember that.
I did that. I didn't even play the multiplayer.
Right? We all remember that like blue screen. Like if you were off that day and like you were trying to boot up and get in there, like everyone remembers looking at just a blank blue screen and people just being like, "All right, I'll close the application and restart it till I can get in." Like it's literally that Eric Andre meme of like, "Let me in." So I think like if I could definitely see that happening. I just think it like I agree. I think it'd have to be Shadow Drop.
I would say if it isn't Shadow Dropped, it's like open beta later today.
Yeah, that.
Yes,
that
you know what? You won me over. It's something about.
It's not my prediction.
This is
Alex.
But I'm saying there's something about the today thing. There's something about that, whether it's just some kind of bonus goodies that you're getting in like the current game, or just there has to be something today.
And I think with like what Jordan mentioned earlier is with the, like July and August being an open canvas. If it was like, hey,
that's true. Yeah,
start today. There will be like this is like early access today, full scale launch like BR July with like a second map and more content, full battle pass there, dude. Oh my god, dude! It would get me back in.
I honestly didn't put much thought into the date. I was kind of throwing something just to make it more than just we see this battle royale.
So,
amen. You were lead
Does
cook.
It get people excited?
I think so. In the way live service games do, there will be an influx of hype, and then that hype will die down, and it's just tragic environment that is live service games.
I don't even know if there will be an influx of hype. I think people will be like, "Wow, this looks fun," but I don't trust anything anymore. Like I don't know.
Do you see this as a mode added to Halo Infinite, or do you see this as a separate game?
Mode.
I'd say mode.
Mode.
Mode. Like that's kind of how it's always been rumored or like pitched. Like everything we've kind of heard about it is that it's just a separate mode.
Okay, because I was thinking like Halo's version of Warzone is what you were getting at.
I mean, that's still technically a separate mode. Like you can, in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, you are able to launch into Warzone.
Fair.
Xbox already has such a bad user interface, and when I'm looking at that just canvas of like 90 games on my screen, and I just see 3 separate Halo Infinite launchers for campaign, multiplayer, and then Battle Royale, I'd be pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. Just put in the multiplayer sweet one.
God damn it!
Yeah, man. But I like it.
Yeah, Halo's weird right now. I don't know. I just don't know what to think about Halo. Like, I want to believe because I love Halo. I mean, I love classic Halo, but like, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
I think a podcast we'd pitch is like what to do with Xbox, and I think Halo needs that God of War 2018. It needs that dog. It needs like
I was
just
gonna say that
reboot.
almost like a spin-off almost. Like, I know that's not what 2018 was, but like just do something else with the Halo license, not a show, because clearly that didn't work. But you know what I mean.
The thing is, I thought Infinite was supposed to be it's 2018.
It was, and it was not. It was. It's weird.
I thought the campaign was good. It's just the multiplayer.
It's not great. It's good.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I'm right there with you. It's good, not great, and I desperately every day want to rechange our 2021 Game of the Year. Let me tell you.
I mean, if you go back to it, it wasn't in my top 3, so
I
was just okay with it.
I didn't play it a lot.
Yeah.
So
just one of those where everybody that had it in their list had it at number 1.
Yeah, literally. I'm gonna take.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Go for it.
I just think I had like a full slosh of predictions. Out of all the predictions shared, only one, besides the 2 that I said, only one of them has been taken off my list. Only one.
Same.
I didn't have anything to do with Halo. Didn't have anything to do with Infamous. Didn't have anything to do with Metal Gear. Like, none of those are on my list.
I like it. But to go with your Xbox showcase, I want to take the ball. I want to grab the ball, and I want to build off that.
He gave you the oop.
Exactly. Xbox, look at me. Phil Spencer, dude, we've had a rough couple of years. All right. Halo Infinite coming out. It's good, not great. Multiplayer is dead before the new year. Redfall just came out. Undercooked. It's like there's a game there. It needed some more time.
A rough 2022. Let's just throw that in there.
A rough 2022.
Hi-Fi Rush, baby.
We have Starfield that is gearing up to be the next Cyberpunk 2077. I've said that the last 2 years.
Josh, don't hurt me like this.
I've said that.
Just let me believe.
Years, and I will say it till the game is out. I think that game is setting up to be the next Cyberpunk. And Xbox has been carried off of the Hi-Fi Rushes. The what is it, Until Dusk or whatever, Dusk Dawn.
I don't think we get another Cyberpunk because of Cyberpunk. Like, I think people are.
I think the fact that it was delayed from November of 2022 to September of 2023 stopped it from becoming Cyberpunk.
Yeah, not to derail you. I apologize.
Yeah.
My thing is, we've had a rough couple of years. And then last year, you did the cutesy little thing. Everything you see here will be playable in the next 12 months. All right. We know you guys got the games, and it's time to bring the games. Bring out the big boys. Let us see what you've been cooking. Bring out the big fucking guns. Literally, the BFG. It's time to announce Doom motherfucking 3. We need a sequel to Doom Eternal, and I think Bethesda, you got to be firing on all cylinders. I think we need Doom 3. We need to see that Indiana Jones game. It's been 2 years. I need either I didn't even
think about that.
I need to see either gameplay, or like in-engine stuff or cinematic stuff, and then what that I know Redfall's been a big miss, but Arcane is still an upper echelon studio. Show us what that Deathloop team has been working on. Show us that you still support and back that team, even though they just fumbled the bag with Redfall. Show us that next big single player Arcane game. Bring the games, Xbox, please. Please, I'm begging.
That was a big old prediction. That was a big one.
Oh, yes. I need Bethesda. I need Bethesda Game Publishing to show up and hit it right out.
I was about to say no Wolfenstein, but then I remember they're doing the Indiana Jones game.
So. Right. They're doing another game where you beat the fuck out of Nazis. Who would have thought?
They have a theme. It's a good one too. It's a good theme.
Good theme.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, Josh, one of the ones I wrote down that I wasn't gonna say, maybe that I think I more wrote down because I need it to be true for me, was that the public response to the Starfield deep dive would be very positive. Now that is not
That's one of mine.
And kind of like, is it really?
Yeah, you fucker.
Oh.
I mean, there's more to it than that, but yeah, that's part of mine.
The question now is, are we positive to Starfield, or are we positive to Todd Howard being a cool dad and just talking to us?
But when
that's
going to be a long I think there's going to be gameplay. There's going to be explanations of systems, and again, Phil Spencer himself said nothing matters until you're holding the controller in your hands. But I think last year Starfield scared
throws
people.
Out controllers to everyone to hold in their hands.
You get a controller and you get a controller. Yeah. I think Starfield started to scare people last year with the procedurally generated 100 planets.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And not all of them will have life on them. I think this will be the inverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Does Todd Howard drop the F-bomb? Does he go, guys, this is just the best fucking space game I've ever played.
I hope so. That one gets the I hope so stamp. Yeah.
Unhinged.
I mean, that's the thing with this. Like, they literally have branded this the Xbox Game Showcase and then the Starfield Direct. Right. So it is Starfield we won't be seeing anything like that in the Game Showcase. That is all. Maybe a mention of it. Just be like, hey, stay tuned after for the Starfield Direct.
I love that branding, especially that way we can get into, because like I more favorably think of Bethesda game publishing than I do Bethesda Studios now.
Yep.
And so I think hopefully both are firing on all cylinders, but I need those developers in publishing to be able to show what they're cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And to snake back, last one, the rumor mill has started to churn up on the next entry in this franchise. And I read the rumors and I was like, God damn, I love what I'm reading here. But I don't agree with the dates you guys are giving, because nothing goes better with PlayStation and a PlayStation showcase than announcement of a new Resident Evil game. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Those things just go together like peanut butter and jelly. We've been doing it the last like 8 years. And Capcom has been just putting everything into Resident Evil the last 6 years, announcing it. Like, they started this train all the way back in like 2016 with like bringing Resident Evil back with Biohazard, and then 2018 RE2 remake, and then there's the State of Play RE3 we don't really talk about, and they launched it during the pandemic. But even like 2 months after RE3 remake, they were still at the showcase announcing Resident Evil 8. And so now that we just got one of the best games of all time with Resident Evil 4 remake, I feel like the other team in Capcom is ready to announce Resident Evil 9 at the PlayStation Showcase. Release date, I want to go anywhere from January to March. I think that's been their sweet spot.
Okay.
April, they did April with 3 remake in the pandemic, but I think April to March January to March next year for Resident Evil 9, I think it gets announced PlayStation Showcase. And nice. all my fellow Resident Evil fans are gonna pop off, myself included. First person still continuing that trend of whatever new cool stuff they add. We'll see it. We'll all see it on Wednesday.
What's the subtitle?
Some people have been saying apocalypse, and like the L is the 1 in the Roman numeral, and then like the Y is like a bit of the like X.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I've seen some fans do up a logo treatment. It looks dope. I hope it's Resident Evil Apocalypse, aka Resident Evil 9. I'd pop the fuck off for that if they show that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Alec, back to you. Give me your final.
I'm debating between 3 of them, so okay. I'm gonna say, would you guys rather see a PlayStation one or a Summer Game Fest?
PlayStation's the one where I think there's like they have the most hype to bring, because
give me the PlayStation. Give me the PlayStation.
All right. We're gonna get they're gonna announce the sequel for Kena Bridge of Spirits, and it's teased with a Pixar quality cinematic trailer. Text pops up saying now in development with no date given.
Is it actually a sequel to Kena, or is it just like their next game?
Sequel.
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Kena Pathway of Spirits. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I played that for the first time earlier this year. I'd need to see like some changes in gameplay to really be sold on it, but I'd like Gino is such a big Kena fan, and like there's like a cult following around.
I love that game. Like, it was one of those, like, yeah, it had its issues, but for that studio's debut game,
it's still
like they killed it.
It's a good video game. It is a good quality video game,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, for a second game, like we could really see that like elevation from Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2 with the Kena sequel, like with everything that people had criticized. Like the base of that game is good, and it looked phenomenal.
I think they should wait until potentially their third installment if they were to do one. But just think if they took it to like they kind of Breath of the Wild did it and then just made Kena open world.
That'd be crazy.
I know, that's what I mean. And you have the rot and you're running around using all their abilities to essentially do what you do with the abilities in Zelda. I think that'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You said it's going to be a Pixar quality trailer. Is it engine footage? Like,
it's super early? No, it's just a pure cinematic.
Okay.
Because the game only came out. It was like late 2021, so they would still be pretty early.
In an hour plus long showcase, a 30-second Pixar cinematic to announce a Kena sequel, I think would I would dedicate the time to that, and I think that could bring some hype for those for the people. Jordan, mid-sip, give me your last prediction, man.
That's another one I didn't even think about.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This one started as a joke. But then I was like, oh, wait, it can actually happen. Where I was going to joke.
That's all the Jordans do.
No, listen, I was going to joke, they find another way to re-release Skyrim. But then I remembered we could get a port of Skyrim VR to PlayStation VR 2 because it's not backwards compatible. So I think that in the PlayStation PSVR section of the showcase, or maybe this is something that happens during an SGF. It's a nice neutral ground for PSVR and Bethesda, because now it's owned by Microsoft, to say that, hey, Skyrim VR 2, and it's like a $10 upgrade if you had Skyrim VR 1. I don't know if they've been doing that with the VR games. That sounds familiar, but don't quote me on that.
I don't have it, so I couldn't tell you.
Because it's not backwards compatible and they have to reinvent the tracking, I think Skyrim VR ports to Skyrim VR to PSVR 2. And probably it would be an out this summer, out later this year type thing.
Right. Just something more for PSVR fans to PSVR.
And it's another way to re-release Skyrim.
See, where I thought you were going to go with it is now that they are on the brink of releasing Starfield, I thought you were going to be like, yeah, we get another like 10-second cinematic like pan over the sky, like Elder Scrolls 6 trailer. Because we still got that, but maybe this year they've like, they do it again, but they're like, hey, it's Elder Scrolls.
It's like 10 seconds longer.
Yeah, and then they have a subtitle for it, and we're still like, dude, this game's not out for another 4 years.
Yeah, I'm
this time with 10 extra seconds.
I'm gonna throw in a second prediction right now. My second prediction right off that one is that I don't think Elder Scrolls 6 is mentioned at all. I don't think anybody mutters a word. I don't think you hear those words back to back. They don't say Elder Scrolls. They're like, rule, if you say Elder Scrolls, 20 lines have to happen before you're allowed to say the number 6. Like, and be careful. Like, you know what I mean?
They will say every other number except 6.
Right. Yeah, honestly, I can see that. Like, with how much they're focusing on Starfield, I can definitely see that.
Pete Hines goes,
they announced 6 way too early.
I think they were just reminding us that, like, hey, this is happening. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I think Pete Hines is like, we got something for you beyond Starfield. Boom, roll it. Elder Scrolls 7 trailer.
Or would it be a Fallout? They would do that same thing.
Dude,
God,
I would shit my pants.
That one leak that's been going around, and of course it's like all these leaks take with a grain of salt, right? I think fanboys just coming up with their hype shit than actual like legitimate shit. One of those leaks did say Fallout New Vegas too, and I'm like, buddy, I
really don't think so, but
I don't think
I'll
so.
take
but
it.
My God, would I love to believe.
Oblivion, I don't know if this was last year or the year before, but Oblivion's doing Outer Worlds too.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely we get Fallout remakes, and by Fallout remake, I mean it could be literally 1, 2, 3 or New Vegas,
or 4, because that game.
I don't think so.
I
think that's too recent.
Yeah,
but yeah,
almost 10 years old.
Jordan, to piggyback off like the Elder Scrolls 6 thing, I do think it's more likely that they like show how dedicated they are to Elder Scrolls 6 rather than like trying any other footage or talking about it in any other way. Like they're just going to say, hey, this Elder Scrolls 6 coming in like 5 years. They're not going to say anything about a date or anything. They're like, we're going to do it right this time. Fucking bet on it. And it's going to be a sentence that they say that's going to get people hyped and almost like doubting it in a way, but like they're going to just double down on Elder Scrolls 6.
That makes me so sad because if Elder Scrolls 6 is 5 years out, God knows how long we're going to have to wait for Fallout 5.
Right.
Like,
I will have a gray beard.
Yes. My God, stop with the one team shit.
It's just the meme from Pokemon X and Y where it's like, it's been 3,000 years.
Literally.
Can I piggyback off that? My last prediction is Pokemon related.
For your last, yeah, absolutely. Close this out.
Jordan.
Yes.
Do you think we're getting a Pokemon game this year?
No, we're getting the DLC.
Detective Pikachu 2 is coming out at the end of this year. Bet on it.
The movie.
Okay.
No.
Austin, I don't mean to yuck your yums, but I do this every time someone mentions where is Detective Pikachu 2. Everyone forgets like 10 seconds before they announced it. Where is the port of Detective Pikachu 1 that they said was happening?
Switch,
People do that all the time, though. People do that shit all the time.
People are only ever talking about Detective Pikachu 2 on the Switch. Like they said it. They announced the port. I have yet to play Detective Pikachu 1 because I'm waiting for that port. I should just put it on the 3DS I have. Like
maybe fine. I'll one up that then. The port is finally here, and then we get footage of 2.
Port is here. Shadow drop today.
No, well the port maybe. I thought you
yes,
meant the Shadow drop.
No, that's what I'm saying. Shadow drop the port today. Be like, hey, Detective Pikachu to this holiday, but to hold you over till then.
Yep. Here's the original.
The port available today. Limited run games, like physical in like a month or two.
Yeah.
So, guys, I loved it. I loved all the hype we brought. We all came here with a lot more predictions than set out. Y'all want to rapid fire some? Just close out your list.
We have to mention Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's one of those things like it would be more shocking if Spider-Man 2 is not there.
I agree, but I'm saying we got to mention it. We got to say something about Spider-Man 2.
It's time for that marketing to kick off, especially with the figures have started coming out. If you're a Marvel Legends collector, you can now get the figures. We're seeing a lot more Spider-Verse stuff, and then like the prequel comic is already out. So it's like it's time.
I think Spider-Verse, I think we're getting obviously some sort of big marketing this Wednesday, and I think the marketing is kind of going to hold off just a bit till Spider-Verse is over. You know, it's unfortunately thing of like big Marvel brand synergy, which Spider-Man is in the center of a controversy of right now for all the brand synergy Marvel's trying to do. Like, I think that they're kind of just waiting for the Spider-Verse stuff to finish before they super ramp up this Spider-Man. But I could see that the reason they're doing the showcase the week of Spider-Man 2, or the week right before Spider-Verse 2, sorry, because they will play the trailer they show at the showcase in the movies.
Here's the thing. Here's the dumb thing I was going to say. What if we sit through the post-credit scenes for Spider-Verse 2, and then they do that Marvel thing of they show like the PlayStation Spider-Man, and they say Marvel's Spider-Man will return in your household this September 24th, and they give the date there.
That'd be cool.
They say Marvel's Spider-Man will return September 24th, 2023. And that's when we get the date. Do we get a date on Wednesday?
Cool. Yes.
You think?
For Spider-Man 2?
We have to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying they were going to announce when the movie comes out.
No, I'm saying at the end of the movie they're going to be like,
I thought you were saying in this trailer they were going to announce when the movie comes out.
Yeah, similar to how every Marvel movie ends with, hey, Glip Shido
makes way more sense now.
Like,
I was like,
yeah. God damn. All right, Alec, take me through your list. Just rapid fire. Just everything you got. What's left on the board?
Team Asobi's next game is revealed to be a spiritual successor to Astro's Playroom. Game is in a similar vein to it being a fun 3D platformer, coming out second half of 2024.
And that game is Knack 3, baby! Let's fucking go!
I'd cry.
Well, I was thinking it was just the Astro.
Me too.
It's just Astro, but it's just like a, not necessarily like a tech demo, but similar vein. The rumored The rumored detachable disc drive is shown. Will come out late 2023. Will be compatible with all existing digital-only PS5s. Cost will be $49.99.
Did they say they were going to do hardware? Because I feel like that is such a place. I feel like that is such a PlayStation blog post thing, like that we see at 2 p.m. on a random Wednesday. But I'd be, as someone with a digital PS5 who wants to watch some 4K movies, like
yes,
absolutely,
that's my thing too. That's why I put the line of all existing digital PS5s, because I want it just so I can use my 4K Blu-ray collection.
Yes.
My last PlayStation one is Half-Life Alyx coming to PSVR 2 later this year. No release date given at the showcase.
Dude, that's been my baby the last 2 years, and then I was like, nah, fuck it, they're not gonna do it. But here's what I'll say: if it's gonna happen, it has to be now. Oh yeah, I don't. If you don't get it this year, like I just don't. It's not gonna happen.
Yep, I'm right there with you. Moving on to Summer Games Fest. We get a gameplay trailer for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Release date of November 10th, 2023.
I see what you did there. Avatars, I get it.
Yeah. Skydance's Captain America / Black Panther game gets another tease with a story cinematic.
I forgot that existed, and I'm really excited.
Everyone does.
Text comes up at the end of that trailer, shows gameplay reveal at the Disney and Marvel showcase later this year. And my final SGF prediction: first trailer for the Star Wars Ubisoft game developed by Massive gets revealed. Release date tease for 2024.
Would that be Summer Game Fest? I feel, or UB Forward, because I feel like UB Forward would want that.
Is there a UB Forward this year? I don't think there is. That's been announced. But because I saw, that's what I said. I was looking at the partners. I saw Ubisoft on there, so that's why I put a couple Ubisoft predictions on there.
Fair enough.
And I got 3 for Xbox, real quick ones. Party Animals gets shadow dropped after months of silence from the devs.
God, I hope.
Yeah.
I literally would explode.
I sent Alec a Party Animals TikTok like 2 weeks ago, and he's like, "Man, I need this game."
Seriously, well, because we were talking about, a few of us were playing the Street Fighter 6 beta Friday night, and I just brought that up. It's like, we're so close to being able to hear about this potentially. And now I went and looked at their Twitter. They have been silent since January.
Ooh.
They have not tweeted since January, and that was for the Chinese New Year.
If they shadow drop it, we need to meme this game as the fighting game of the year.
Oh yeah,
we need to hike this game up on our shoulders,
just like
and say that it is better than Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, everything is going to get bodied by Party Animals.
And according to Jordan, yeah, that worked.
Yeah,
it wouldn't come out.
Like we were talking Friday, like we're all convinced.
Sorry.
On Friday we're all convinced. Like, was this just like a pipe dream weekend? Like, like were we all like kind of like a shared hallucination that we all played this game? Like,
yeah.
But last 2, I've got Scalebound from Platinum Games gets revealed coming in 2024.
That wasn't a hype one for you? Are you kidding me, dude?
It was a hype. I'm just.
It was on the list. It was on the list.
Damn, man.
And then my last one, just a real dumb, stupid one, just to throw out there. Okay. During part of the Starfield Direct, where they're going over the weapons, the closest thing to a lightsaber is shown, but it's called something dumb, like a plasma sword.
Oh yeah.
Alec, you might have just nailed that. You might have just 1-to-1 to what reality is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. Jordan, you got a list to close me out?
I have 2. One of them is similar to one of Alec's, where I said that we will get the official reveal, because I would consider everything we've gotten just announcements, of one of the 3 major Star Wars games. That is either Massive's game, Respawn's FPS, or the Knights of the Old Republic Aspire remake, with a release year.
What about Hunters?
We don't talk about that.
I thought that was out.
I don't know. Is it?
I think so. I think it is.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, with a release year at the end, like I would consider the tweets we got and the one dude dressed up in a cheap Kylo Ren cosplay, just waving a lightsaber around. I don't consider that a reveal. I consider that an announcement.
Sure.
Right. So this would be probably something CGI, but like giving us a bit more about the game, and then just 2025 at the end.
It'd be better than the way Fallen Order was announced. Remember that? Was it just like talking to a dude in the audience or whatever for like a weird 5 seconds?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That happened? Did I dream that?
Yep.
My second thing, and this would go good with one of Austin's. If something Mario related is announced, Chris Pratt and Charlie Day are there with Miyamoto.
Let's go!
That's awesome.
Oh!
It's me, Mario.
If anyone, I want it to be Jack Black.
I would think that it's at least those like I don't think it's gonna be like just Jack Black or Jack Black and Anya Taylor-Joy, and then Charlie and Chris Pratt aren't there.
Jack Black is also like in the video game industry, so
is he?
I mean, he voices a bunch of stuff for Double Fine, I think.
Yeah, he's a gamer. He's a gamer for sure.
Tenacious D is coming to that
that's
video game concert.
Yeah,
like that
he's
10-year.
He's like vaguely in the ecosystem. I would argue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Does that close out your list?
Yeah, those were the only extras I had left.
All right, Austin.
Oh, I got some. I got some stuff. So Hellblade 2 is coming out early next year, and we get another deep dive, and people are like, this game looks fucking incredible. Like, this is going to be the game for Xbox. It's going to be the next Starfield in the terms of like, it's all on this because Starfield's going to come out. I think Starfield's going to be really, really good. It's just because of the nature of what that game is, it's not going to be what people want it to be for the Xbox as a brand. So then everyone's going to go, well, we need Hellblade 2. It's going to keep that cycle is just going to continue until we get like essentially God of War 2018.
Right.
Gears of War 6 gets a tease, but Gears of War Collection is either shadow dropped or out very soon.
That was one of mine.
It's going to have 1, 2, 3. Nice. Is it 1, 2 Judgment and then 3? How is that? Yes. Is that how it is? It's going to be all of that. They're going to include Judgment.
I'd almost say they skip Judgment. They do the Cliff Bleszinski trilogy, and then 4 and 5 are already like scaled up for Xbox. So
I think they include Judgment. I think a lot of players skip it when they play the collection. I think it'll be in there. Avowed is shown with gameplay that people are very underwhelmed by. It will come out. It will come out in the middle of 2024, maybe middle to late. So like September-ish or late August.
Isn't that game in development hell right now, or is that Fable I'm thinking of? It's
honestly kind of both of them.
Yeah,
but I think they're gonna I think they're gonna have to put out one of those games, and I think Avowed is more likely. Wolverine will be mentioned once, and we will not hear a lick of it or see a lick of it after that. It'll just be like they're working on it. That's it. That's all we get. The exact same thing will happen with Fable. Fable will not be at the show, even though people are like, we need to see Fable. It's not going to be here. It will not be here.
I could see Wolverine gameplay footage closing out the PlayStation showcase.
Not with Spider-Man coming out soon. I really don't think they want to muddy that. Could it happen? Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. I just don't think it will. But I would not be shocked if it did.
I think those two getting announced with a fucking weird little Gran Turismo intercut between the two. Yeah. I think is like
it was so smart. Like they knew what they were doing when they did that. Though. Where they were like, people are gonna think it's Spider-Man. It's gonna be Wolverine. And then everyone's gonna go, man, Spider-Man 2 isn't coming out for a minute, and then here it is.
I mean, you look at
Spider-Man 2's coming out for a minute, and it's first. Like goddamn.
Yeah.
And then my two tame ones were we see Sony Ben's new game. It's open world again, but at a much smaller scale. So the people that made Days Gone,
right?
we're gonna get
kind of like more like open zone-esque, not necessarily open world.
Because they're gonna lean into it. Because I think there are bits and pieces of Days Gone that are really good, and I think that they're gonna lean into the stuff that was really, really good and really interesting, and that's gonna be the next game. I don't know what it's gonna be though, because I think there's a rumor that it's like games as a service, but I don't remember. I could be thinking of someone else. I don't remember.
Yikes! Just make Days Gone 2.
This is another one where with the Half-Life Alyx thing, we're gonna get a Game Pass support for Steam Deck thing. Something about Steam Deck and Game Pass is gonna happen.
I hope
I like that.
I don't know if it's going to be like, haha, you can just do it now. Like, I don't know if it's that, but there's going to be some kind of pairing between the two. Fuck you.
As much as people don't like gaming from the cloud, like I played, Tinykin, all on Xbox Cloud on my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And that game played great. Like there was a couple times like the controls felt great. The only thing that ever happened was the resolution went down. Like I never got mistimed jumps because of lag. It was all just the resolution lowered. So like the times I played the Xbox on cloud on my Steam Deck, like I had no issues aside from sometimes the resolution just taking a dip for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. That's it.
my extras that I had, of course, a Gears 6 thing in there. With the nasty split that is going on with Activision, PlayStation, and Xbox, and that whole fight, I think it's weird that it's May. It's almost the end of May. We haven't seen Call of Duty 2023. I think 2020 that gets a full scale. Here's a reveal trailer and gameplay all at the Xbox showcase, because they've been saving it, but they haven't been able to determine if it's day one on Game Pass yet, because a lot of forces are blocking that deal from going through. But I think Xbox dedicates like 4 or 5 minutes like purely to Call of Duty 2023. Players, when it comes to Star Wars, I was thinking we'd maybe get a, like we said, the massive game, but we'd see it more in a like trailer similar to how we saw the Avatar game a couple years back in a weird trailer. But the Star Wars one, I think we actually see. I want to give the biggest asterisk. Fuck David Cage, but I do think we see Star Wars Eclipse, that Quantic Dream.
Really?
Yes,
I think it's way off.
I think the fact that it's go for it.
Like, it's because I think they've even had troubles like just getting people to work there. So I honestly think that game's just kind of in a development hell right now.
I would not be shocked if that game's canceled in a year.
Oh yeah.
I think they might be, because it's Star Wars. I think they're trying to push through it as much as possible, and the fact that we haven't seen anything from it since Game Awards 2021, I think maybe it's another cinematic trailer, but I do think we get something more of it. I don't know where though. Maybe Summer Games Fest would be the place to show it. And then
I mean, Disney was a part of that partnered
right
image, so
something there. And then a real general one, I think we get a good, like, just a good solid great like 5-monther, like something that gets announced and is out in 5 months, similar to Guardians of the Galaxy in 2021, where like it was somewhat of a known entity, and then we because they said they were doing it back in 2017. That game went under the radar for 4 years, came out, looked incredible at its first showing.
So good.
Yes. Great. I'll never forget reacting to that trailer with y'all and then seeing the gameplay, and then they were like out this holiday season. I think we are going to have something like that on that scale, hopefully sometime over the next couple weeks here. I need something big.
You know what I want?
That is going to come out in 5 months.
I want like an Uncharted style game, but you play as Rocket and Groot.
That would be incredible.
Ooh,
and honestly, if it was Marvel Games that was on that 5-month like announcement, then goddamn,
I think it'd be fun as hell.
But that will do it for our predictions. What are your predictions? Comment down below. Like the video if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell. There's a ton of stuff for you to go watch. We got shared screens podcasts. We got more Media Club topics on video game adaptations, the whole 9 yards. We got a shit ton of reviews out, from Resident Evil to Advanced Wars to the Mega Man collection to Survivor, Tears of the Kingdom impressions. We got a shit ton for you to go check out there.
That's straight ranking.
We reviewed that TV show. That's crazy. Survivor.
We sure did.
In 72 or whatever.
I hated it.
Right.
Exactly. Massive big old stream for you to go watch on the This Is the Waypoint and here, and for the games E3 2, as we've deemed it now. We are going to be reacting to a lot of it, so stay tuned for those reactions and our thoughts, and we'll see whose predictions were the most accurate and correct. But that'll do it for us now. Ciao. I love you. Smooches.
Alec said Scalebound.